I'll defend these walls by myself if I have to.
I will never let you pass. Observe my ironclad will.
Come and face me! Let's end this battle quickly!
I cannot let you pass here.
You are not going to like the outcome of this encounter.
I'm not going to go easy on you. I hope you're ready.
Are there no heroes left in this land?
No one is getting past me! What a waste of my time. You're not even worth soiling my blade.
All right, sorry to keep you waiting. It's time to heat things up, and here I go!
We shall never give in. If we are to die, then let it be with honor.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another top 10 countdown for the channel. We've got the top 10 most honorable deaths from the Dynasty Warrior series. This is kind of mainly focusing on the novel death, as the deaths in the novel can get pretty cool for some of the characters. Most of them usually die from illness and history, but the novel likes to spruce it up a little bit and give some of our heroes a really cool death. I might throw in a historical or game reference here and there, but mainly all of these honorable deaths is from the novel themselves. With that being said, we got a couple of honorable mentions to jump into, and then we've got the main list. Starting off with the bottom, we've got a duo of characters because they both kind of die in the same way, and that's going to be Guan Ping and Zhou Song. So these two are loyal to the very last breath. Guan Ping and Zhou Song were the living embodiments of loyalty and valor. Guan Ping, the devoted son, matched his father's skill and courage, while Zhou Song, the steadfast guardian and weapon bearer, served not for glory but out of unyielding devotion. At Fan Cheng, surrounded by the forces of Wu and facing relentless attacks, Guan Ping and Zhou Song pressed forward, defending their lord even as their numbers dwindled and retreat became inevitable. Though history records that Guan Ping fell in battle and Zhou Song doesn't even exist, the truth is clear. They stood by the warrior they served, giving their lives in a final act of loyalty. Guan Ping, who was killed with his father, refusing to surrender with him, being executed alongside of him, and Zhou Song, in the novel, once seeing Guan Yu's head, I believe, displayed somewhere, he ended up taking his own life as he could not bear the thought of living without his master to serve. Moving on to the second honorable mention, we've got Guo Huai, the unyielding sentinel of Wei. Guo Huai was not the kind of general who sought glory with reckless charges, but the kind who secured empires through vigilance and endurance. Rising under Cao Cao and serving loyally through every reign of Wei, he proved himself in the unforgiving frontier where Shu's greatest minds tested his resolve. In 253, during the 6th of Jiang Wei's northern expeditions, Guo Huai faced a final fateful encounter while pursuing Jiang Wei. Guo Huai would go on to fire an arrow at him, while Jiang Wei, having run out of arrows of his own, caught Guo Huai's mid-flight, fitted it to his bow, and shot it back with deadly precision, striking Guo Huai in the face, and he would die shortly after from blood loss. In the end, Guo Huai embodied a quieter kind of heroism, one of loyalty, resilience, and duty carried to his last breath, and I just thought that his death in the novel is also pretty cool. And with that being said, that's how the rest of the list is going to go here. Let me know down below what you guys think of my list, and with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into it. Now, coming in at number 10, we've got the legendary final stand of...
You fight like a demon. I have much to learn from you.
My lord, you are the epitome of a warrior.
It is truly a good thing to have you fighting alongside us.
Tremble before the god of war!
So Guan Yu, sworn brother to Liu Bei and Zhang Fei, lived and died as the embodiment of loyalty and honor. After securing Jing province for Shu, Guan Yu achieved his greatest triumph at the Battle of Fan Cheng, where he flooded the plains and nearly destroyed Cao Cao's 7 armies, forcing Yu Jin to surrender and capturing Peng De alive. During the battle, Cao Cao and Sun Quan would initiate their secret pact as Guan Yu suddenly found himself isolated. With supply lines cut and his troops weakened, he was eventually forced to retreat. Surrounded by Wu forces, Guan Yu fought bitterly alongside his son Guan Ping, but both were captured. When Sun Quan offered him leniency if he swore allegiance to Wu, Guan Yu refused without hesitation. Loyalty to his brother Liu Bei outweighed even the fear of death, and in the end, Guan Yu and Guan Ping were both executed. In the novel, Guan Yu's death is one of legend, and that also transcends into the games themselves, as usually for his death in the games, he's got some pretty amazing cutscenes where he really shows that he fights to the bitter end, cementing his honor as a warrior. Next up, coming in at number 9, we've got one of the best leaders from the Vanguard. He's first in the fight, and that's going to be
Why do you have such low self-esteem? You need to be more confident.
Impressive. It's always inspiring to view such talent.
I am fortunate to have you come to my aid. Together, we shall crush the enemy.
I shall aim to be the best performer in this battle.
As one of Cao Cao's 5 elite generals, Yue Jin's reputation was built on consistency. He fought on countless campaigns from Guandu to Hefei, and was trusted as both a vanguard and a defender when times were most dire. What made Yue Jin so respected was his ability to balance raw aggression with unshakable resolve. That very drive to achieve greatness ultimately shaped the way that he ended up meeting his end. Shortly after the Battle of Hefei, Yue Jin challenged Wu's Ling Tong to single combat on the shores of Rushu River. In the duel, Yue Jin nearly secured victory, pressing his rival with the ferocity that had carried him through so many campaigns. But just as triumph seemed within reach, Gan Ning intervened, firing an arrow that struck Yue Jin in the face. Gravely wounded, he would eventually die, and Yue Jin's death reflected the same tenacity that defined his life. A relentless spirit ensured he would be remembered not just for the countless battles he fought, but for the unyielding honor with which he met his end. Next up at number 8, we have...
Do not bother with me. I have failed you. Forgive me.
I hate for you to see me like this, but thank you.
Such errantry was destined to lead Wu. You are simply amazing.
You dare test the tiger's claws?
Now, Sun Jian was the embodiment of daring and audacity. His leadership was forged in action, earning the loyalty of his troops and the respect of his enemies. In 191, during the campaign against Liu Biao at Xiangyang, Sun Jian would meet his fate. While personally scouting the enemy lines, he was struck down by an arrow, falling in the midst of battle. His death was sudden, but it reflected the same fearlessness and boldness that had defined his career. Now, also his placement is also coming in with the help of the Dynasty Warriors games, as for most of the games, he has quite the bitter end for the character, usually taking an arrow to the back. Dynasty Warriors 9, I think, did a great job showcasing it, but Sun Jian dying in the way that he did, unfortunately falling to an ambush due to his audacious nature, definitely leads him to be on my list as one of the most honorable deaths you can have during this time. Next up, coming in at number 7, I'm going to entangle some of the history for this character as well, because I think it was really cool to read about. So coming in at number 7, we have...
Oh, your bravery is an inspiration.
That was great! You got my blood racing!
Your strength surpasses my greatest expectations. I'm going to enjoy this.
Come, Tai Shi Chi shall be the last thing in your way.
So we got the gallant warrior of Wu. Taishi Ci was a warrior in every sense. He was skilled with the sword, fearless in battle, and known for his honor and loyalty. Throughout his life, Taishi Ci faced countless battles head-on, always guided by principle rather than the pursuit of fame. In 213 at Rushuko, tragedy would strike him. Wei forces ambushed him, first cutting down his men and then using his own signal to lure him into a trap. Overwhelmed and outnumbered, Taishi Ci fell to a hail of arrows, a sudden and brutal end to a warrior who had lived by the code of courage and loyalty. And then I wanted to include his historical quote when he actually died from illness, because it just refines this character in a way that I think is really important. So on his deathbed, Taishi Ci would sigh and say, "A man living in this world should aspire to carry a 7-tree-long sword and rise to the position of a son of heaven. Now, I have yet to realize my ambition. How unfortunate that I am going to die soon." I love the passion of this quote for Taishi Ci in the history, to show that he really wanted to live a little longer because he felt like he hadn't completed everything that he wanted, which just, in my opinion, adds to the honorable character that he is, which transcends into the games that we see for today. Now, coming in at number 6, we got a courageous character coming in here, bravest of the brave, whose death was defined by his courageous, unyielding personality, and that's going to be...
I am in luck to have you here right now, my lord. It is always a pleasure to watch you in battle.
No one can beat us when we work together.
These guys are tough, so let's take them on together.
You'll not have it so easy with me around.
Zhou Yu's tactical mind was matched by a boldness that inspired his troops and struck fear into his enemies. During the campaign at Nanjun and Jiangling in 211, Zhou Yu sustained a wound that would later claim his life. Yet, instead of retreating to recover, he pressed forward, placing himself in the thick of the battle to ensure the success of his forces. He used himself as bait, drawing the enemy into a trap that would secure a critical victory for Wu. His choice to fight, fully aware of the mortal risk, transformed his wound into a testament of honor. Zhou Yu's death, though inevitable from his earlier injury, reflected the essence of his character: brilliant in mind, fearless in action, and devoted above all to the welfare of his kingdom. Zhou Yu could have easily recovered, retreated, and not used that opportunity to get a decisive victory over Cao Ren, but he did, which makes him one of the most honorable ways to go out as a person during this time. Now, coming in at number 5, we have...
I'm very well aware of how strong you are. That doesn't mean I have no chance in defeating you.
If you were injured, why didn't you say?
The sleeping dragon and the fledgling phoenix together. Perhaps the fated day is not so far off.
I suppose it's time I took a little stroll around the battlefield.
So coming in number 5, we have the fledgling phoenix, a mind of rare brilliance, second only to his contemporary Zhuge Liang. When Liu Bei sought to carve out his destiny, Pang Tong's counsel became indispensable, guiding him through the campaign to seize Yi Province, which was a bold step towards building Shu. Yet it was in this campaign that Pang Tong met his fate. As Liu Bei's forces advanced, Pang Tong rode forward in the general's steed. At Lu Valley, during a sudden ambush by Zhang Ren's forces, Pang Tong became the target. A storm of arrows rained down upon him, and he was struck down before he could escape. Though his death cut short a mind of untold potential, Pang Tong's end was a mark of honor. Now, I will have to say, I don't think Pang Tong intentionally took Liu Bei's horse in order to divert attention away from him. I believe Pang Tong's horse was either ill or injured or even died, and Liu Bei lended his horse so Pang Tong can continue with his mission, and it just happened to be coincidental that Zhang Ren, who was waiting for ambush, recognized the horse as Liu Bei's, assumed it was him, and ended up killing him, which I think is an extremely honorable way to go. You die in the service of your lord because they thought it was him, giving Liu Bei a chance to obviously push forward and eventually capture the region of Shu. And that's why for me, Pang Tong is at number 5. All right, coming in at number 4, we got the Swift Blade of Wei coming in, and that's going to be...
I will never forget your greatness. Not now, not ever.
Well done, an excellent display.
Spectacular! Your bravery is alluring.
So what am I going to do with you?
Xiahou Yuan was a general defined by speed, precision, and unflinching courage. Serving Cao Cao, he earned renown not only for his battlefield skill, but his ability to turn dire situations into opportunity, striking swiftly and decisively. In 219, during the campaign at Mount Dingjun, Xiahou Yuan faced the forces of Shu under Huang Zhong. Caught off guard in a sudden assault, Xiahou Yuan fought bravely but was overwhelmed, meeting his end in battle. And then of course I have to say Xiahou Yuan's death that is depicted inside the Dynasty Warriors games has always been beautiful. He literally, for the most part, is fighting to the very end with every single iteration that is included. And when he did eventually die in combat, he left behind the enduring image of a general who lived and died by the code of the warrior, which is why he's here at number 4 for me. Next up, coming in at number 3. This one's a little different because this character didn't explicitly die in battle, but I still think it is extremely honorable, and I'm going to explain why in a minute. Coming in number 3, we have...
If ever there was a true warrior of the 3 kingdoms, it would be you, my lord.
You're always there for me, so I figure I have to return the favor once in a while.
Your skills in combat were a thing of beauty.
There is more to me than just might alone.
Now, there's many ways that a warrior dies. It could be on the battlefield, cut down by steel, or in the shadows, betrayed by schemes. But for Lu Meng, death came slowly. Not with swords, but with silence, sickness, and the weight of a final loyal breath. Now, a lot of characters can fit that image as well, but I think Lu Meng fits this the best in terms of an honorable death as a character. Born into hardship, Lu Meng didn't join the army seeking glory. He marched with a single purpose: to lift his family from poverty and care for his ailing mother. Every coin he earned, every rank he climbed was never for himself, it was for someone else. As the years passed, Lu Meng's name became feared, especially after the stunning capture of Jing Province. Sun Quan, desperate to save his trusted general, spared no expense: doctors, rituals, prayers. But Lu Meng knew it was the end. He didn't ask for a monument, he didn't ask for mercy. Instead, on his deathbed, he made one final request: return all my wealth to my lord. The gold, the treasures, the rewards he had amassed, it meant nothing to him. Because for Lu Meng, it was enough to just serve. To die in loyalty, to give back everything even in death. Some warriors seek honor in victory. Lu Meng found it in his sacrifice. Next up, coming in at number 2, we've got the warrior who refuses to kneel, and that's going to be...
What a magnificent fight! I am glad you are not my enemy. You have potential, and it is potential that I seek.
The path of the warrior is one of righteousness. Continue on.
I take yet another step along the path of the warrior.
Peng De's story at the Battle of Fan Cheng is one of the most honorable and heartbreaking deaths in the entire Three Kingdoms saga. Once a veteran under Ma Teng and Ma Chao, Peng De eventually came to serve Cao Cao and Wei, where he quickly earned a reputation for his iron discipline and fearlessness. That reputation will be put to the ultimate test against none other than Guan Yu. When Peng De confronted Guan Yu, he made a chilling declaration, bringing a coffin before him, shouting that one of them would leave the duel in that very casket. True to his word, he fought Guan Yu fiercely across nearly 200 bouts, and at one point, Peng De even managed to shoot an arrow into Guan Yu's arm, wounding him. Taking advantage of heavy rains, Guan Yu flooded the lowlands where the Wei forces camped. Peng De, realizing the danger too late, attempted to save his men. The flood destroyed Wei forces, and Peng De barely managed to regroup atop a hill with his remaining troops. When two of his officers suggested surrender, Peng De executed them on the spot, refusing to allow even the thought of betrayal. He then fought desperately until he was finally captured by Zhou Song's forces. Brought before Guan Yu, Peng De was given one last chance to kneel. He refused. Defiant to the end, he chose execution over dishonor. Even Guan Yu respected his loyalty and buried him with the rights of a true warrior. Peng De didn't just die a soldier's death, he died standing, unbending against the tide, loyal to the very last breath. And that's why he's here at number 2 for me. And finally, coming in number 1 should be no surprise here, because this is an absolute monstrous way to go out, and that's going to be...
I appreciate it. I'm not scared of anyone as long as you're here.
You are no ordinary fighter, now are you?
Well done, a deed worthy of the legends of old. You want to make a name for yourself? I'll crush you!
We all know Dian Wei was not just a warrior. He was Cao Cao's human fortress, the very image of raw, unstoppable power. Known for wielding his giant halberds that ordinary men could barely lift, he embodied the ferocity of Wei's rise to dominance. His loyalty was absolute, his presence terrifying, and his reputation on the battlefield made him one of Cao Cao's most trusted protectors. That reputation was sealed in blood during the infamous ambush at Wan Castle. When Shangqiu betrayed Cao Cao, chaos erupted as enemy troops flooded the stronghold. Dian Wei, tasked with guarding the gates, stood firm with only a handful of men while the full weight of Shangqiu's army crashed upon him. What followed was a last stand worthy of legend. Dian Wei fought like a raging beast. Even when both weapons snapped under the strain of endless combat, he seized enemies by hand, tearing them apart, refusing to let a single foe pass unchecked. Overwhelmed by sheer numbers, Dian Wei finally fell. His body pierced, his arms drenched in blood, but his spirit unbroken. A man whose loyalty cost him his life, but whose sacrifice secured the survival of the kingdom he had sworn to protect. To this day, Dian Wei is remembered not only as Cao Cao's mighty shield, but as one of the greatest examples of valor in the entire Three Kingdoms era. And of course, the game spared no expense, especially in the later games, of how awesome of a moment it was for Dian Wei to stand there going toe-to-toe with Shangqiu's men until Cao Cao escaped. And that's why he's here for me as the number 1 most honorable death in the Dynasty Warrior series, or Romance of the Three Kingdoms, because I was focusing a lot on the novel death. And with that being said, that's going to be all I have for the video here, guys. Let me know down below who I was missing. If I was missing anyone, do you agree with my list? Do you think that other characters should be moved around? From my research, from what I know about these characters, these are the ones I want to talk about in today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, definitely appreciate you guys dropping a like or a sub, and I'll see y'all in the next one.